I could get used to this. It's Friday, and you know what that means. For 1 hour, I'll meet your every single need.
Oh.
Yeah, those two. But first, let's welcome tonight's guests. He sells his fans razors in case they prefer suicide. Comedian David Angelo. Can we go back to Angelo real quick? Doesn't he look like a member of KISS without the makeup? All right, she's such a whiz, they put her on Philly cheesesteaks. Fox Business anchor Lauren Simonetti. His published opinions terrify the minions. Fox News contributor Charlie Hurd. And finally, she's like Barbie, small, blonde, and has fake hair. Fox News contributor Kat Tiff. All right. Now, before we get to some news stories, and we have plenty of them, let's do this. Yeah.
Greg's Leftovers.
Yeah, it's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week, and as always, it's my first time reading them. So if they suck, we'll tie Joe Mackey to a table and then let a group of monkeys rip off his face. Might be an improvement. Yeah, I know. He is homely. Here we go. Brian Kilmeade took on Tyrus in a wrestling bout this week in a match called The Unstoppable Force versus The Unwatchable Object. There's a contrast of Tyrus's power against the skills Kilmeade learned playing soccer, namely boring people to death. Meanwhile, an Austrian grocery store was evacuated after a spider whose bites caused 4-hour erections was found in the banana section. That's the setup. I didn't even get to the punchline. In a related story, guess who just announced he's moving to Austria? In coastal Iran on Tuesday, the heat index got as high as 158 degrees. In fact, it was so hot, they had to cancel the annual wet burqa contest. Charlie finds that funny. People even groaned here. According to a new study, long-term use of popular acid reflux drugs has been linked to a higher risk of dementia, as well as a loss of smell. We just want to show that picture. A new study shows that nearly half of men with thinning hair will avoid socializing, but then again, some men will just cover it up. A doctor told PBS NewsHour this week that Americans should start wearing masks again, even inside their own homes. Oh, thank God, said the husband of this woman. She's really helped this show. Nearly 10,000 people have offered to change their name to Subway for the chance to get free subs for life. And I think you know 5 of them. That would be confusing if all their names were Subway. Subway Goldberg. A trans woman, aren't they all, is suing her ex-boyfriend to return her surgically removed testicles, saying that he keeps them in the fridge. What? This could be bad. I remember telling my old roommate, hey, if you don't put your name on it, I'm going to eat it. And he keeps his testicles in a jar. Why don't you just identify as married? During the World Cup, Megan Rapinoe missed her final shot as a member of the women's national team. I know, but she did pull off the trickiest goal of all, making soccer even less popular. Mike Pence has qualified for the first Republican debate, which is great news for the dozens of engineers, mechanics, and electricians who built Mike Pence. During a speech this week, Donald Trump mocked Chris Christie's weight It was the first time the media didn't try to fact-check him. A new poll says the average American eats 200 cookies a year. So finally, Chris Christie is ahead in a poll. I like cookies. While fishing in the Florida Keys, Tampa Mayor Jane Castor found 70 pounds of cocaine. Usually to find 70 pounds of coke, you have to visit the White House. And finally, Cinnabon, Simon Le Bon?
Bun.
Cinnabon, Simon Le Bon. That's a great name for a kid. Anyway, LA Cinnabon workers are striking for the right to display a pride flag in their franchise. Hungry Cinnabon customers say they may cross the picket line as long as there aren't any stairs. Yeah, smattering. I can hear the monkeys feeding off of Joe Mackey's face right now. All right, to the news. She had a meltdown in economy class and wants the media to get off her ass. I speak of Tiffany Gomez, a 38-year-old marketing executive from this infamous incident on board an American Airlines flight last month when she complained a fellow passenger wasn't real. Something I've told Human Resources about Judge Jeanine since day one. Roll it.
What? I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now that back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Bye.
Something back there is bothering her. The outburst delayed the flight 3 hours, causing American Airlines to issue a statement that said no passenger has the right to cause a pointless 3-hour delay because that's their job. At any rate, this freakout will definitely go down in the annals of airplane freakouts. But she's telling the Daily Mail that no one should judge her, and her life has been blown up, and everything has changed since the video went viral. Now, Tiff says no one knows anyone else's story, and no one knows what it's like. There's certainly a lot of passengers who've been in her shoes. According to the FAA, there have been more than 1,100 unruly passenger reports so far just this year, not counting, of course, the 100 or so from the lonely guy in 14C who keeps asking, "Don't you know who I am?" Anyway, we finally got our hands on the unedited version of Tiffany's outburst and who she was referring to when she said that was not real.
I don't give two but I am telling you right now that back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
True. David, you have a kind of a low-key presence, but you have a very short fuse. I've seen you get very angry and just beat up children. Have you ever been unruly on a flight?
No, I've never been unruly on a flight. I try to stay calm.
Yeah.
But I now appreciate, the older you get, you appreciate freakouts more, I think.
Why?
You just get them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you're young, it's like, what is this crazy person? Then you're middle-aged and you're like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand. I wouldn't mind screaming at a crowd of people now and then.
Do you think? I mean, that's the thing, though. My feeling is that we're always gonna end up being her one of these days. I have that opportunity every day. People are always looking at me, trying to wait for me to snap.
Oh yeah, and that's coming.
Yeah. You can see it, right?
This is not going to be good. No.
No, it's not. I know that I'm walking towards the edge.
Right. She's going to be making fun of you.
I hope she does. Lauren, what do you think caused her meltdown? Why doesn't she just come out and say it?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
She said her life is over, nobody gets it. Well, help us get it.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a mental health issue, we'd probably be sympathetic, right? And instead, everybody's attacking her because she lives in a near $2 million home and is wearing a $1,900 bag. Who cares?
Yeah.
She has an issue. tell us what it is, because it doesn't look like she's gonna be able to get jobs in the future, you know, with this in your background.
This is what's BS about it. It's like, so what if you have a viral moment? Let her get on with her life, right? Yeah. Why should we care whether she gets another job or not? That's what bugs me, is that we're all acting like it'll never happen to us, but it will. Especially you, Charlie.
Oh, I've come close.
Yeah.
I'm not much into viral videos, but I have to say, from the moment this thing hit, I have watched every second of it. And actually, and I don't know what she's complaining about. First of all, she's a marketing exec. You would think that if you're a marketing exec, then, you know, a viral video is great. Make something out of it and stop complaining about it. And a lot of people love her because she spoke for them. I will warn you against watching the whole long video. The one that's in context is way more boring.
Yeah.
This one, she was speaking truth in the short version.
You know what? You just brought up an interesting point. If this were made in Hollywood, this would be 3 hours long. And there'd be all this build-up, background, romantic interest, pointless conversations with her and somebody in front of her, and then behind her, the gay but all-knowing flight attendant talking to his his husband about their 2 twin babies on the phone. There'll be this plot, the subplot where the plane could be going under at any time, but it's not even that interesting because, you know, it's just, and then you get to that. And it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, so she's a hero to many, and a lot of people thought she's hot, too, which helps. But the problem for her is, apparently, once the more information comes out, it turns out she was mad at a relative she was traveling with who apparently stole her earbuds for her phone. And so that is kind of a warning flag that maybe you don't want to hang out with her.
She might. See, I think I could see this. You know, you need like a little flow chart for a children's book, and it's like the first one is Ambien, and then you get the big plus side, Chardonnay, divided by earbuds that fell into the crease of your chair, equals I hate my relatives.
A how not to book.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's like all it takes is a mix of 2 things, and your life is over. Kat, do you have any insight into this story? The story that, you know what, other networks are too scared to cover.
Yeah. No, I honestly think that it's not really a warning sign so much as an opportunity that if her family is fighting like this in public, imagine what they're doing at home. So we should get some cameras in there. I completely agree that as someone who's in marketing, she's totally wasting this opportunity. There should be merch. She could do a show where she interviews other people whose lives have maybe, you know, they had a viral meltdown and how to use it to called Meltdown Glow Up.
Nice. Nice.
She could probably start a cult even. If she said like, oh no, I saw this thing, you guys, the aliens are here, thousands of people would believe her.
I would. I thought that for a moment there, I thought she had seen something because it's like, look, it's there. I mean, she was like, that was the best acting. Again, Hollywood couldn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna come out and say something about it like she did, you have to do better than don't judge me.
Don't judge me.
You know, say, no, it's real, you guys, listen. Next thing you know, boom, cult.
I would also just add, you know, if she's worried about not getting a job in marketing, Western Razor, westernrazor.com, we would be happy to have her come on board, you know, be a part of the team.
Yeah, you have a big team, don't you?
It's a huge team.
It's
you know,
you.
The team includes all of America.
Yes. By the way,
America's largest American-made razor company.
Yeah, he owns a razor company, and it's made in America, and you refer to your staffers as male and female. Unlike Harry's razors, which birthing and non-birthing people. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
So I'm helping you.
We do, because we only have, it's men at my staff.
Yeah, it's you.
It's me and my friend.
I don't know why.
Still provide the best customer service.
I don't care.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.